Hey, everybody. We are here live on Facebook. Welcome, welcome. I'm Brenda B. Bailey. This is the Theta Healing Power Hour. And I always tell people it's every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you want to join us because I know cool peeps. I know great influencers, experts, and they always give us great information. So, and just a reminder, we are going to get, here's some wonderful info from Miss Grace, and then we'll do Theta Healing at the end, which of course bypasses your mind, works at a cellular level, and makes changes very quickly. So it'll be fun. And I base what we work on the information that Grace gives us. And I'll go, that's something good that we need to change. So just so you know, please please share this, because who doesn't want to know about reversing aging, right? Who doesn't? I mean, look at Grace, right? While you're listening to me talk, look at Grace. Like, she knows what she's talking about, apparently. Look at her. So please tag people, share this, like, comment. We want to hear from you, and know that you'll get the great information and the healing work on a replay as well as a live. So if you're thinking, oh, I know somebody, but they probably can't watch it right now, that's okay. Still tag them, still share it. They'll get it. So let's get this party started. I am going to introduce you to my featured guest this week, Grace Richardson. So Grace is a certified clinical aromatherapist and facial reflex therapist with 20 plus years in the medical field. Her diagnosis of 3 thyroid tumors prompted her into deep diving natural solutions for avoidance of prescription medication. So even with a medical background, she was shocked and frustrated by the amount of information, most of which was conflicting and complicated, and she felt they were only focusing on selling their products, not really helping others. So she knew she couldn't be the only one, right, that was looking for solutions that would minimize or eliminate more toxins from their lives. Her mission is to help you who have had the same experience and be a trustworthy resource to equip you with the tools and information in layman's terms to understand and make informed, empowered decisions. So as the no Botox, no filler, do-it-yourself, graceful aging strategist, Grace offers you a step-by-step guide to aromatherapy plus facial reflex therapy, and that equals reverse aging. Welcome, Grace.
Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you. It's
So
been a
that's
while.
what I say. Grace is her best calling card here, folks. So I'm like, I want to know more. When I met Grace, I was like, she looked good. She's got beautiful skin. I want to know more. So, Grace, I'm just going to start asking you questions. So tell us more, because I think this is really true. And believe me, I've been, around the integrative healing and alternative healing for 29 years. So I like to say when I was 5. But I know that because there's such a, like, not all essential oils are the same, folks, just so you know, if you don't know this. And an aromatherapist, a certified aromatherapist, is somebody who actually has been trained in this. So I know there's a lot of companies out there now, and people just look at, everybody thinks essential oils, they're all the same. And they're not. Grace may not say that, but I'll say it, because Grace will be like, well, I don't want to be so bold, but I will be. And so with an aromatherapist, somebody, I mean, she didn't go online and get a certification that took a week of watching videos. Becoming an aromatherapist is a big deal, in case you don't know this. So she's got some major credentials and knowing what she talks about. So Grace, what is aromatherapy and facial reflex therapy and their benefits?
So, aromatherapy is actually the use of essential oils that are extracted from plants, fruits, trees, roots, resins, and they are really great for mood balancing And also when you use them, it creates an environment of allowing the body to heal itself. So some of the many benefits are skin cell regeneration. They're restorative, they're anti-aging, they reduce the appearance of scars and blemishes, they're hydrating, calming, promotes better sleep, detoxing to the body, and boosts the immune system, and also provides digestive and respiratory relief. But I must caution everyone though, because you have to only use certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. It's important to get the essential oil from a trusted source, not the health store or department stores, not companies who sell essential oils. I know there are health companies that sell essential oils. Make sure if you buy from them, make sure you get the proof that they've tested them and the quality of the oil.
Grace, is there a certain certification, or because I've heard of like medical grade, and I think there's another one, are there certain ones that people would want to look at? Or, I mean, again, you can always, you're gonna be able to get a hold of Grace, but it's like being able to know um, who are the companies or where you would want to look for those.
Okay, so I only recommend doTERRA. doTERRA is number one. Aromatic Plants Research Center came to one of our conventions and told us they test for 5,000 companies, and doTERRA is definitely the number one. They do not release anything not 100% pure. So when they say certified pure therapeutic grade, that's what it is. The doTERRA products, the majority of the essential oils are ingested, can be ingested, applied topically, and aromatically. So that would be the only company I would recommend, and that's what I use for my own blends for the things that I take or the things that I recommend to people to do.
Right, because it's, you read a lot of things, right? I'm even like on a little aromatherapy pet group on Facebook, believe it or not. And they talk a lot about how you have to be careful of having your essential oils and which ones that, brands that you want to use, because it's not safe, even like in a diffuser for your animals.
Yeah.
So, um, I mean, that tells you a lot, right? Like, it's like, okay, I don't want to have that for, if I can't do that. So,
Facial reflex therapy is the second part of my beautifying combo. It's the act of stimulating the reflex points on the face. So when I remember, if you remember when I talked to you, we talked about stimulating a daily basis, because the stimulating actually wakes up the nervous system, which has an internal, we know that things that are going on inside on our faces is most likely internal issues or imbalances or emotional imbalances, right?
right.
So when you're stimulating internally, and you're also relaxing, and the act of stimulating actually regulates the blood flow. It regulates the lymphatic system so that the toxins will leave your body,
Mhm.
and it boosts the production of the hormones to boost the immune system. But most importantly, it has a positive impact on your collagen production. As we age, our collagen depletes, and people, you saw people selling collagen products. Stimulate and wake up the nervous system and the production of collagen.
So when you do the protocol for the reflex therapy, do you actually use your hands or do you have a tool?
I have tools that I use, but I also, but when I'm teaching somebody who doesn't have one, the knuckles are great. for homework, continue to stimulate and use I create an anti-aging serum, and I teach, that's how I equip someone, is to teach them the products to use and the
The
stimulation.
exercises, yeah.
Yeah,
So
exercises.
with the exercises also, it also helps, like say your serums, to absorb deeper. Is that correct?
Yes, and that's why I tell people, if you use commercial products on your skin, clean your face and only apply maybe fractionated coconut oil or jojoba oil when you're stimulating. Because what it does is it opens up the skin, and everything that's on your face gets eaten by the skin. And if it's toxic, then you're bringing the toxins in. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
You know, what's so interesting, right, is that I often say that the information that we get, so yes, like with technology, it's all new. What Grace is talking about, she's not reinventing the wheel. She's just making it available in this day and age, because many cultures have been doing this to, East Indian, um, Asian, I mean, culture, it's very big, and it's very, people know these things. And I'll tell you, just as I've done this, right? Like what Grace is talking about. And the first time I did it, I was shocked because I was hearing all this crunching. And it
That's
was,
energy. That's the blocked energy.
I mean, I didn't hear it again, but oh my gosh, I was just like, wow. Like I thought, this is so loud. This is amazing. I was sold after that, because I'm a big about, keeping the lymphatic clean and the system. And of course it makes a huge difference. And I just thought, wow, this is really waking up my lymphatics for sure. So it
Yeah.
did a lot of things, but you know what? I never thought about it for the face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. When we go to get a facial, it's great. We should get a facial for the cleaning, but they don't really stimulate your face. And me using a tool is even better, because the tool that I use actually does has more impact on waking up the nervous system. And I love the face because the results are faster because it's closer to the brain, unlike the feet and the hands. So when you're doing that, the first thing you will see is glowing skin, because now you've stimulated the process inside.
Well, and I think that most people, especially women, don't realize how much stress is held in our face. So when you do that, it does. You like just look happier. Like people are like, what's going on? What are you doing? And you're like, nothing really, because it's so easy to be able to learn this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, knowing Grace, she's made it super easy. So, Grace, what are in like your virtual aromatherapy and facial reflex therapy program?
Okay, so the virtual just came up because of the pandemic. And so I had to create a way for me to be able to teach people and treat people, because facial reflex therapy and aromatherapy, although I focus on reversing the aging, there are a lot of things that it does internally for healing. Emotional, as I said, respiratory, digestive issues. You've seen women with the wrinkles around the lips. That's called the barcode. And that has a lot to do with the reproductive organs. So those are the things that I'm able to offer in addition to the things to the beauty. So what I do first is I do a skin analysis, and I do that by having pictures taken, and I look at the pictures because I cannot diagnose, I'm not a doctor. However, we know that the Chinese, the Indians, years ago, they couldn't tell what was wrong with a person with medically, but they could say from the face, the science on the face. And that's how they treated people. So that's what I do. By where the blemishes or the wrinkles are located, I can tell where the imbalances are. So I do that, and then I send them their customized blend, and then we schedule a virtual time, and at that time we do the aromatherapy, and then we get the mood balance, the stress relief, and then we tackle whatever things that need to be spent more time on the area. Or they'll get a tool, they'll buy a tool, and we'll use that. I'll send them the appropriate one. We'll use that for them to do the virtual with me.
And this is the thing, right? So, you live in Southern California, correct, Grace, right
Yes.
now? Right.
Yes.
So before the pandemic, again, I like to reframe things a little bit. Um, Only people who lived near Grace would get her service. But now, because of the pandemic, she's expanded her reach. And so all of us can benefit from her now. Because I'm sure she stayed pretty busy in just her local area. But now, we get we get to benefit from it. So just doing a little plug. I know there's, the pandemic in so many ways. I'm not saying that it's not, but this is one of the benefits that have happened as a result, is that um,
Yeah.
we get to connect with people all over the world. So that's great. So Grace, what are the other means of delivery that you have other than one-on-one services to teach women how to like naturally rejuvenate and reverse aging?
Well, actually, I do the face-to-face, the one-to-one, and I do the same steps, except they come over and they get the works. So I go through an hour's worth of the steps that need to address the imbalance. And at the same time, I plug them into my Healy, which you know about, and I'd like you to speak about later on, because I want people to know that you have that available for people as well. Um, then we the time that they see me is depending on the gravity of the concerns. If they've got high stress and they've got bad digestive issues, or if they've got thyroid issues, then that's the number of times they see me is, I tell them then how many times, and then that's how. But you don't just come to me and then you're done. You go home and you have homework, because you need to learn how to do this on your own, so you're not reliant on me. I don't want to be your forever therapist. I want you to be your own forever therapist.
So she's teaching us to fish here, guys. She's not just fishing for us. And, that's the thing. I think that, like, I've taken anatomy and physiology, and the, I, I think that people know it, but they don't really think it. It's like the largest organ of our body is our skin. And when you want to make a difference quickly, whether it be in your face or for your health, the skin is a great place to do this, right? It's the best pretty much, because it's going to be absorbed quickly into the blood system. And, when you're looking at essential oils, they go beyond the blood barrier. There are so many other ways that it can benefit people. And, I've done, I'm a, what's the right word? I'll just say toiletry. I love like makeup, skincare. I'm always looking at things. I'm always reading about things. It's just been something my whole life I've always had great interest in. So, what we're talking about here, there's so much that I'm like, she knows what she's talking about. She knows what, and the benefits that you get. So it's different than just going like, I'm going for a facial. And don't get me wrong, those are great. That's all part of our self-care. But right now we're not able to do it, or we can't do it as often, or we have to wait a long time because they're only able to see so many people, that type of thing. And a lot of them have just taken themselves off the market, just because of depending on where you live. So it's nice to be able to know quick, easy, safe ways to be able to do our own self-care. And skincare for a woman, well, for anyone, but for a woman, that's part of your self-care. If it's not anything that you've ever thought about, it's here, I'm going to say, here, I'm making you aware of it. So you do have the one-on-one services, but then also you have some programs as well.
Yes, I'm actually creating digital courses that people can buy so that they have it, that they can refer back to it because it's going to be in video, in words, in audio. So if you really want to uh, get the natural facelift on your own time, at any time, or do it with your friends or your mom or your grandma, then you can have the resource, and it's going to be an ongoing resource. And that from then on, there will be other ones that actually address like acne or menopause or migraines, headaches, stress, which are all the things that are making us older than we should be, because our bodies are supposed to last 120 years. So, Sarah had a baby at age 99 in the Bible, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
So here it is. So we've listed a lot of things, but have we missed anything that makes you unique in what you're telling us, what you're offering us, Grace?
Well, I think I'm unique in three main ways. And one of them is, as I said, I believe that things that are external that we see, acne, dark spots, wrinkles, those are usually indicators of an imbalance inside. So I approach my treatment protocols in the way that is healing internally and emotionally. Unlike products that tell you, oh, I can get rid of the wrinkles, you just put this on. No, those came from something, and that's what I do. And that's what makes, well, that's one of the things. And the second one is, Hippocrates said, the greatest medicine of all is to teach people not to need it. And that's kind of my mission statement. I believe that people, most people, given the right tools, the right information, they want to have control over uh, their health and wellness, right? Especially when they're presented it in easy, bite-sized chunks. So I prefer to teach people how to fish. And the third one is, nothing is one size fits all, right? You buy a dress and they say it's one size fits all, and it's not,
Where was
right?
it manufactured? Right, exactly. So that,
Exactly. So I teach people how they can do it for themselves, because we're all different individuals. Our DNAs are made different. Some people can wear this stuff, some people can't. So that's what I do. I tell you, here's the tools. This is what's good for your skin. Try it and see how it works.
I think that the body is intended to heal itself. And when you can bring it back into balance, it can do that. And I think that people think that they've got to go to Mexico to a clinic or something like that. Whereas there are little things, little tweaks, little changes that make a huge difference. And when you're looking at it, because it was really interesting what you had said, Grace, is when we work on our face, when we do things, when we apply, good, safe, nutritious, for lack of a better word, products that feed our skin, that feed our systems, and then we do exercises that stimulate. One of my experiences has been, I actually did the acupuncture facial, which is the little needles that, like, you look like a little porcupine. It's all over your face. And I did a series, this was years ago. And one of the things that I found, I said this to my acupuncturist. I said, so does everybody tell you that they like feel more connected to God by doing this? Because it was like opening up my crown chakra. Because again, all the energy, everything that was moving around was really, so it was so interesting. It wasn't what I was expecting, right? Like I didn't have any idea what to expect, but that to me was like the biggest benefit of it.
Yeah.
And I've even done, I've had like a series of the fascia integration work done. And when you do like a series, one of the ones is that they actually go inside your mouth and, stretch, or,
Massage it.
your fascia. And when I did that, which was really funny, I did that, got up, and my practitioner looked at me and she went, "Oh my God, you look 10 years younger." And I didn't know her that well at the time. It was only like my third session or something like that. And I'm like, whatever, I'm like, okay, thank you. And so, I get in my car and I drive home and I go to the bathroom, like I go get into the door, right? And I go to the bathroom and I looked in the mirror and I went, and I literally texted her back and I went, "Oh my God, I look 10 years younger." Like that was amazing. So there are all these different things like what Grace is talking about, and using the tool or using our fist, that you think like, that's not going to make a difference. And it does.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely. And when you can get it from the inside out and the outside in, that's part of what makes Grace unique. So what makes your business unique, Grace?
Well, because our mission statement is to teach people how to fish, our ongoing, our main focus is to provide the tools, to provide the connections, the education, and then ongoing guidance, so that they know, they don't get nervous. Oh, what do I do now? It's ongoing. It's not you got this, goodbye. Next time you come back, you gotta, pay another whatever. No,
Pony
it's
up some more money. Yeah.
yeah, it's ongoing. And the other thing is I love to equip people, because busy and time deficient professionals need to be able to have personal care net, which is no extra time, so that they can establish a healthy lifestyle. And I underline a lifestyle of healthy habits, because it's hard to do that. You're so busy, so you have to be able to incorporate it into your daily regimen, right? And also, the most important thing is, because I know that being beautiful is not the only way to an optimal health, albeit it's significant. I work with other professionals like yourself who offer other services that complement, that supplement what I offer: business, finances, relationships, mindset coaches. They're important as part of this whole thing to make the person healthy. And I work with those people so that my clients have a trustworthy resource. They don't have to Google anybody and be sold and be told, oh, okay, you got to do this and you got to pay all kinds of money and blah, blah, blah. They have a source that's available to them through me.
And I think that is so important to say, when you found somebody that like, and trust, that you work with and you like their philosophy. So again, for those of you who I'll say don't are still applying chemicals, or are not understanding the benefits of it, by all means, if somebody, if you're like thinking, oh, so-and-so needs to hear this, please tag them, please share it, please like, please comment. Tell us what your experience has been or what you have found, how this is, like speaking the truth here, right? Like, or if you agree, or, oh, I also, in addition to this, I found this. Because the thing is that once you've found somebody whose philosophy you like that fits with you, it's like, who else do you know?
Yeah.
Who would you recommend? You've built a relationship with them. I know for my clients, because I've been doing this for 14 years, if I say, oh, you know what, you may want to consider, would you like me to connect you with them? They're always like, yes, of course, because I've already done my due diligence. I've already vetted them, or I've had an experience with them and I know what the results are. That's why I was like, oh, Grace, we've got to get you on, because I think that, again, it's available now because of what's happened. And so we can get this great information from Grace and we can learn about it. And, I always have to laugh because when people, I have an intro session that people do, it's 90 minutes. And one of the biggest things that women get asked after they've had a session with me is when they see somebody, they'll say, have you started a new skincare? I mean, that's like one of the big, it always makes me laugh. Or did you change your hair? And those, because they're looking at them because they know they feel different. They look different. And of course they want some of that. They're like, okay, she's looking good. What's going on here? So it's really funny because that's so funny that you said that, because it's one of the biggest things that women hear from me, because I don't think guys hear that very often. I don't think their friends are asking them about that. They're usually wanting to know why did a business deal that had stalled all of a sudden went through, or how'd they get to buy that new car, that type of thing. So, because they're making more money. So it's always, really different. So, Grace, is there anything else that you want to, I mean, I know you've got something to offer them. We'll do that here at the end, but is there anything else that you want to add that you feel like that people need to know?
Um, we are every day we see advertised such and such product, such and such procedure. And, make sure you do your due diligence to research, because they'll say organic, and organic's meaningless, really. It's a
At
number.
this point, yes.
It's a number. You pay for this number and you get the tag organic. And a lot of people that sell good products, healthy products, can't afford to pay for that number. And
Right.
so they don't. So be very careful, because now more and more people are getting cancer, younger and younger kids. It's in everything that we do. I mean, just by going out there, we're around you know the 5G, and that is, so just be careful. And I am happy to help. I am within reach of Facebook or Instagram. I'm happy to answer questions. That's my goal in life, is to help people live better, do better, and not be reliant on other things or other people, that they have control. Because one of these days, we do need to be able to do our own thing. If you can't have access to your medication for some reason, earthquake, tornadoes, whatever it is,
Internet goes down. Yep.
yeah, you go to your medicine cabinet and you've got a peppermint or a breathe or a lavender, and you've got it made. You've got it made. And if you tricks on your face for calming, for whatever, you definitely have it made.
And it is so important to be able, one, to know the information, to be able to make informed decisions, to know what to look for, because it's true, organic. There's so many buzzwords that are just part of their marketing. It's unfortunate. And even there are certain companies that like that their stuff is non-GMO, but they don't pay for the certification because you just know it. You know that about them, or that they're organic, or however that is. So that's a great point, Grace. That is such a great point. So to, again, look at things, understand, gather information. Now, Grace, you have a group, correct, on Facebook?
Yes, it's
People that you share information as well with them, and it's free,
yeah,
right?
yes.
What's your
It,
group's name?
it's called No Botox, No Fillers, Graceful Aging Strategies.
And we'll put that in the comments, guys, so that you can know that. Because, I also have a free group as well that I let people have, little experiences with working with the quantum energetic technique that I use, which is theta healing, but also the Healy, which Grace was talking about, which I just put mine away. I had it on me. I was in a meeting and I just was reading it. Well, so it's only like this big, guys, but I will, let's see if I'll pull this up right here that you can see it. That's the Healy
Love
behind me.
mine. I love
And the
mine.
reason that I have that is because in my group, every Tuesday, I get, information on what two programs that we need to have run that week, and we run them because whether or not people are actually, again, of course, I love having, I'll just say, the control and the luxury of being able to run any program that I want. So I have my own unit. I know Grace does too. But it's also about vibration. We're really understanding, how 5G is affecting us now is it's lowering our vibration. How is the anxiety and fear that people have been experiencing during COVID has been lowering our vibration. And we want to be able to do things like essential oils and aromatherapy and stimulating our lymph system and using the Healy, whether you own one or whether you want to be able to participate in my group, which is Wealth Vibe Acceleration. That's the name of my group. To be able to keep our vibration high, it'll keep you healthier, happier, and just all around better.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to add about the Healy, Grace?
Well, you talked about the healthier and happier. We know that when we look good, when we feel good, we look good,
And
right?
when we look good, we feel good too. Like, it's a two-way. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's been the thing. I'll be honest, I've gotten a little lazy. I've been so excited that Zoom has like Zoom makeup. This was a tip that I shared in my last networking group. I was like, eyebrows, lips done by Zoom. And so I'm not putting any chemicals on my face. No, I'm just kidding. But and I'm also saving time. So it's great time saver here. So if you don't know that, you can always message me and I'll explain to you how to do it. I should do like a little tutorial on that so that people can benefit from it. It's not perfect, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. So let's see. I did take a few notes here on what we're going to work on. And again, just to say, you can get this work on the replay as well. So feel free to like, comment, share this. And of course, we want to know your experience as well. So put those in the comments. So so theta healing bypasses the brain. So we bypass our conscious and subconscious, and it works with your DNA on a cellular level. So just to explain, because we hear a lot, like this is just a for instance that people can understand. A lot of people will say, oh, diabetes runs in my family. No, it's the beliefs that cause diabetes that run in your family that of course cause you to be imbalanced and cause that to happen. And then you have the belief like, well, it's going to happen. It runs in my family. Like personally, because I'm Hispanic, if you guys didn't know that, diabetes runs a lot in that culture, right? In our culture, but my family doesn't have diabetes, right? So diabetes doesn't run in my family. But most people will go, oh, do a lot of people in your family have diabetes? And I'm like, no, no, nobody that I'm aware of. No. So it's kind of an interesting thing about that. And so when we change things on a cellular level, it does change our DNA, but it also changes how we feel, it changes our heart, and it changes how we think. The cool thing is that we're not aware of how often we are thinking about how we should think and feel. Like we use 11% of our brain and it is congested with that alone.
Mhm.
So when we can change it on a cellular level and your thoughts and your feelings. And again, it's not like, it just allows like what truly is you to come out. And then it's less for you to think about. I mean, can you imagine? It opens up space for you to be more creative, or for you to be aware of opportunities. There are just so many things. Or it also allows things like business deals to go through, because there's a part of you that energy is going out there for whatever reason from your beliefs that are on a cellular level that are causing all of that to happen. And the cool thing is as if it's always been. So I always use the example. I had a gal who had a session with me, and this was many years ago. So we were physically at a networking event, and I saw her like a month later, and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And she goes, your session didn't work." I said, "Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, so tell me what's new. What's going on?" She had a new boyfriend. She had a new dog. She was living in a new place. She had done a musical performance, and I was just listening. I was like, "Wow, that all sounds great." And I'm listening to her, and I don't remember sessions. I always say you have full autonomy. There's just a lot of discretion there, because I won't remember the session. And then when she finally said performance, in my mind, I went, we worked on stage fright. We worked on performance anxiety. I thought, right? Like I couldn't really remember. So I think I was like thinking that for a second. And then I looked down at her and she went, "Oh, I guess the session did work." And I was like, so whether or not people are realizing it, because like this was a woman who had been wanting to be in a relationship for like 10 years. Because when I really started to think about it, because then I really had to think about it, she had always wanted a dog and never had one. She had been wanting to move for a while. And I just thought, wow, that is so, but she did it with such ease. She didn't think about like that she was doing it differently
Yeah.
until she said something to me. And then she kind of went, but I just had to laugh when she led with like, "It didn't work." Cause I know it does. Right. So I just went, okay, that's, because I know it's going to work whether or not you realize it. That's how also with these lives, I know it's going to work whether or not you realize it. But all you have to do is just say yes. So it's a very complementary modality that anybody can learn. But I love, especially teaching it to entrepreneurs and coaches and consultants, because it allows them to work on themselves. I can teach them how to use it to utilize their business better, right? So that they can be able to have a greater reach, but also to help your clients so it makes you and your programs look even better. I mean, I love that. I've always said that I don't need to get the credit. I just want people to have better lives and be happier and be more balanced and be healthy, and, whatever it is that, healthy, wealthy, and wise, I guess, it's all of that. So that's what I really love about Theta Healing. So it is complimentary. So you do have to say yes out loud, because that tells your brain, it tells the universe, it tells whoever your divine power is that you want this. That's why, thinking and saying things of what we want is better than saying and thinking things that we don't want, because even no matter our beliefs may be blocking a lot of things, something will get through, and at least you can get that done for you, right? So you need to say yes out loud, and we're on social media and we're doing a co-live, and say yes in the comments. Those combinations will allow you to have that. So whether you watch it live or you watch it on a replay, you're still going to get this work. So that's another cool thing about Theta Healing.
Yes.
And I actually tested this, right? Because I kept thinking, will this work? So several years ago, I did a webinar for 16 weeks, and people kept coming back at an 85% show up rate, because they were getting benefit from it by being there every week. And it was changing their lives just by simply saying yes. I always say, if it sounds too good to be true, maybe we'll just change that belief for you, right? So that we can have things that sound good and easy and quick, and
Yes.
that it can be true for us, right? So
Yes.
I'll put that on my list here.
So I said yes.
I heard that. Well, I'm gonna throw it in with a bunch of other stuff. Look at Grace is like, I want that one. I want that one. Let's do it now. But I got to do a little bit of setting up, and then we'll do it. Let me put that down. Because if not, it'll leave my mind. So whenever I work with a new client or student, I always make sure that they have 3 beliefs in place. I want an instant healing, I deserve an instant healing, and an instant healing is possible. Because again, just like Grace and I have been talking about, our bodies are intended to heal quickly. Our energy is intended to heal quickly. But if you have the belief that it can't, that it won't, that you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. So we cover those, right? Because Theta healing works very quickly. I want an instant healing. I deserve an instant healing, and an instant healing is possible. So I always make sure that's our foundation. So if you would like those, say yes out loud.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that one first, since Grace was like, I said yes already, but we'll have to say it again. So let's change what prevents us, right, from allowing things, or let's change, cancel that. Let's change what obligates, which means we don't have a choice, to think if it sounds too good to be true, it is. So if you would like that, just say yes out loud.
Yes.
So when we change the obligation, one, that opens it up for it to be, for it to be a possibility, to, if it's something that is actually good and quick and easy and it can be true, we will. But we also still maintain that discernment, that if our gut tells us, right, because of our gut, right, once we've cleared things, we can trust our intuition and our knowing more, which is so important, that we'll be like, oh, I don't know about that. That sounds a little shady. I don't think so, right? But maybe we've been saying it to a lot of things that weren't, and now we could be open to that. So it allows you to have that balance. So let's change what prevents us from making ourselves and our health and our self-care a priority. And then let's change, let's forgive ourselves for not doing that. So if you would like that, just say yes out
Yeah.
loud. Because forgiveness is a big thing that prevents us from making change. Non-forgiveness, right? That prevents us from making the change. And so that's so important. And let's just do that we can, let's change what prevents us from having that healing. I'll just say like circle, so to speak. That healing internally allows us to heal externally. That, healing emotionally allows us to heal internally and externally. And let's also change what prevents us from allowing the body to be in balance to heal it ourselves, right? To heal itself. So if you would like that, just say yes out loud.
Yes.
And then let's also change what prevents us from knowing that we can learn things and do it ourselves. So let's forgive ourselves for making maybe some poor choices and know that there are still good ones out there and that we can do it. And let's also change what obligates us to be confused at what to do. And then last, let's change the obligation to be time deficient. I like that phrase. I'm going to have to use that more. Um, right. So that we can know that we can find the time. So if you would like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes.
So, Grace, thank you so much for coming. Tell us again what you have available for the audience. You have a mini course?
Yes, I have a complimentary course that was supposed to be released, but will be released within a week. We've just had some technical, you know how that is. First time technical.
It's Mercury in retrograde, guys, so we have to cut Grace some slack.
Yeah, yeah, but you will like it and you will want to know more because it's going to be a very helpful tool that you'll have that you can teach yourself and others.
So, guys, if you want this, feel free to comment below so that Grace can know who would like to have access to this when it's available so that she can message you and give you the link, right? So, um, it's all good, right? We're gonna give some grace to Grace. There we go, right? So, well, let's go ahead and change that really quick. Let's get Creator's definition, God's definition of grace, so we can be in alignment with it, know what it feels like, that it's possible and safe. And then let's change what prevents us from giving grace to others as well as ourselves. So, if you'd like that, just say yes out loud.
Yes.
Great. So, always we do our power hour here on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And let's see.
Are you going to provide them with your contact info? And I
It
want.
is in the post. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, my group, my draw money to you. I have an MP3 and then how to connect with me. Absolutely. And so, yes, I will. All of that's in the comments because, again, I always like to feature my guests. It's not all about me. We get to do some theta healing. So, next week, I will be featuring Stephanie L. Shaw, and we are going to be addressing the critical shifts needed to turn your pain into your purpose, which sounds like Miss Grace already, she could probably talk about that as well in her research and everything. So it's really, you find this a lot with people, is that they have a health scare, a health concern, something tragic, and they've been able to turn it into something positive and helpful for others.
Thank you, Brenda.
Oh, absolutely, Grace.
Right.
Thank you so
I,
much.
I need to reach out to you after this, and I definitely need to sign up for the next meeting, the evening meeting at your with your group.
Absolutely. So that's Wealth 5 Acceleration, guys. And so we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thank you.